Welcome. Welcome to your heart life. This is a place where we get together every Thursday at 5 o'clock and we explore different ways that yoga can enhance our well-being. And so I'm so happy for you to be joining me here today. You'll probably see that there are places where you can make comments. Just to let you know, I won't be checking the comments during class, but I will check them after class and I'll get back to you when I can. My name is DeMarin, and today we're going to explore different ways of inducing self-relaxation, primarily through balancing our autonomic nervous system, looking at the relaxation response by using breath and movement and sound and touch to stimulate the pathways of the vagus nerve, which is kind of a primary communication channel that runs throughout the body, but the areas in particular that really induce relaxation and a sense of well-being and even safety really are the areas of the upper body. And so that's what we'll be focusing on today. We'll be sitting for most of the class. There will be a part where we come to lie down, so you're welcome to lie down on a bed if you want to, or just stay in a chair or seated on the floor. If you have these little massage balls, we'll be using them today, and the reason why I like these little rubbery balls is because they will kind of grip your skin, and you can sort of create a massage-like sensation with them. If you don't have them, that's fine, because I'm going to be showing all the techniques with your hands. The other ball that's nice to have is sometimes they call these Pilates balls. This is a 7-inch ball, and I've deflated it so that it has some give. So if you don't have it for tonight's class, you might want to pick one up for self-care purposes in the future. Why don't we start by checking in, doing a body scan. So I invite you to create a comfortable seat. If you want to do this lying down, that's fine too. And eyes can be opened or closed. Let's just feel ourselves settle. And as you're ready, I invite you to bring your awareness to the base of your skull. And just sensing how you're carrying your head, and also knowing that that magical vagus nerve originates here at the brainstem. And then if you would bring your awareness over the surface of your face, sensing into those areas of softness, the muscles of your cheeks and the outer skin, and also sensing into the areas around your eyes, your nose, your ears, your mouth and tongue. All these sensory organs are innervated by the vagus nerve. And if you haven't already, explore the ears. And then moving awareness down through your neck, the front and the sides and back, and then the throat. What are you feeling in your throat area today? Of course, these areas enable us to breathe, to make sound, to eat food and drink water, and connect us to nourishment. Also enlivened by the vagus nerve. And then you might become aware of your lungs and the rhythm of your breathing. And finally, rest your awareness at your heart. Perhaps sensing the gentle massage that happens as you breathe in and out. If you like, I invite you to place an open palm across the heart area. You can let its weight sink down a little bit. And notice what you feel with your hand and what you feel at the chest. Then I invite you to cup a cheek with your other hand. Let the hand be soft and caressing. And know that this is a pathway, a vagus nerve pathway between your heart and your face. We read each other's faces to determine whether we're safe or whether we need to protect ourselves. And of course, we also use our faces to reach out to the world. When we feel safe, we can connect. And when we can connect, we can be well. Relax your arms and your hands down. And let's just explore some movement now in the neck. Relax your shoulders. You might even want to draw them up and then ease them down. And let's just do some simple movements of the neck, tilting your head in one direction, moving nice and slow, breathing as you need to, and slowly coming back through center and easing your head to the other side. And coming back to center nice and slow so we don't miss any sensation. And then let's turn in one direction. Slowly coming back to center. Moving to the other side. Just checking in so that we can know the place from which we start this journey. And coming back to center. Tilting the chin up. And drawing it back down again. And take a delicious breath in. All right, as you're ready, we'll start some touch movements with the hands. So I'm going to be offering you many possibilities. And I just encourage you to do what feels right for you and to also explore with a lighter touch before you go deeper. So using my hands, I'm going to explore my jaw clencher muscle. So bring your peace fingers right here into your jaw and kind of bite a few times until you feel that muscle kind of popping out under your fingers. And then once you find that, sink your fingers in and start to push them upward towards your cheekbones. So I'm kind of planting my fingers in here, and then I'm going to open and close my mouth. And then I'm going to glide it from side to side. Then I'm going to jet my jaw forward and back. And then I'm going to start twisting from side to side. Now this is a point, if you have those little massage balls, you can bring them to that same area, find your little clencher muscle, and start to push inward and twist from side to side. So you'll feel how the ball kind of tractions the skin and takes a little slack away from it and creates some warmth. So we're giving ourselves some rosy cheeks. And just relax your arms down and feel your face. My smile actually feels a little bit easier than when I started. All right, so now I want to use the nose scruncher area, the muscles that help us scrunch up the nose, but I want to show you something to do while we're doing this. I'm going to try to draw my upper lip down over my teeth, like that. And what I want to do when I find my nose scruncher muscles, I'm going to sink my fingers in and push them up while I try to draw my lip down. And then I'm going to slide my fingers down and do that again. If you like, you can wiggle your fingers or circle them here. Relax. Maybe your nasal passages are a little more open. And the next place we go will be what I like to think of as the concentration muscle. Some people call this the scrutiny muscle. So I'm knitting my brow together here. So just feel that area that enables you to knit your brow like you're concentrating on something. You can take your peace fingers here, or you can take the heel of your hand, right? Or you can use the little massage ball, okay? So we're simply going to start circling that area with some gentle pressure. You might want to try fingers and then a broader tool, which is the heel of your hand. If you're going to be using the massage ball, what you want to do is place it in that area and then start to twist it. So it's almost like you're wringing out a cloth, but it's your skin. And then make some little circles after you've kind of wrung it into a little twist. And you can be intuitive with this. You know, right now I'm sort of drawn to dragging the ball up towards my hairline, okay? You could even take two balls and drag them across the brow and find yourself at the temples, which is our next spot. So using your fingers or these little balls. You're going to start twisting in opposite directions or the same direction. And I'm being drawn to sort of turn my head from side to side. I don't know where that's coming from. I'm just letting myself be intuitive about this. So it's really great to move slowly. I'll model this with the fingers. It's interesting because when I switch to my fingers, I'm wanting to nod my head. Relax your hands down. Take a breath and feel. Does your face feel any different than when you first sat down? The last spot is going to be the inner ear. This is called the concha. And what we're going to want to do is trace the contours of the inside of that area as if we were trying to wash it out a little bit. So I have my face to the side so that you can see what my finger is doing. So I'm actually moving my ear as I'm tracing the contours of the concha while putting some gentle pressure. The vagus nerve actually comes right inside this area. Relax your arms and notice, can you hear me better? Maybe you can. So the next area I'd like to explore with a calming massage stroke is the sides of our neck. So if you take your two peace fingers and come to the knob right here behind one of your ears, and you come down at a diagonal, you know you've got that real big muscle there, right, that ends here at the collarbone. The vagus nerve travels alongside this big muscle, along with the carotid artery. So here, when we activate this area, we're really enlivening that connection between the heart and the face. So coming back to my soft hands, and because the neck is so delicate, just imagine that your hands were really soft and fluffy here. And so I'm going to cradle one hand in another. I'm going to find that little knob at the back of my ear and sink my fingers in a little bit. And I'm going to start tracing towards the right side of my body as I drag my fingers and turn my head over to the left. And when I come over the center, I lighten up on my pressure. And try to let my jaw be slack. Let's try that again. Same side. So I'm on my left side, sinking in, and slowly dragging, turning head left, dragging to right, lightening up over the throat. And you can continue doing that with your hands. I'm going to model doing that with this soft ball, which can be nice to have if you don't have one, because it connects with more surface area of your neck. So I'm going to press the ball in and kind of gently drag on the skin towards the right as I turn left. I'll do that one more time. I'm starting to feel some warmth. It's almost making me kind of sleepy. Let's just pause for a moment after we've done the left side. Notice how you feel. Let's try that on the right side. So I'm going to take my fingers once again and find my little knob back here. Relax my jaw. And then slowly draw the skin over to the left as I turn my head right. Sound effects are okay. You can keep doing that with your hands or switch to the ball if you haven't already. So moving slowly with great sensitivity will actually be the most relaxing. Relax. You might want to sigh, you might want to swallow. You might want to do a little bobblehead. Or roll your shoulders. Now let's do another technique that I like to call a heart hug. So with your fingers, kind of trace along your sternum, which is this bony plate here at the center of your chest, and walk your fingers up a little bit until you can sink into where that little notch is, and then just come just below that. And then I'm going to kind of plant the heel of my hand down onto my breastbone, and then the other hand on top of that, and I'm going to press inward. So being sensitive about the amount of pressure that you're using. Notice what you're feeling at the chest. And then start to tilt your chin up a little bit and bite the ceiling. So in this way, we're also stimulating the platysma muscle, which is another facial expression muscle. Kind of scary. All right, that felt good. So we've opened this area up to prepare for some sounding. I'm going to introduce 3 sounds, and we'll practice each sound 4 or 5 times, and then the next, and then the next. And then we'll put them all together. Okay, so I'll start and you can follow me. The first one is Take a swallow, take a breath. The next one is going to be awe. And when we awe, I invite you to really open your mouth and imagine you're trying to stretch the back of your throat. And the last one is ooh. Might want to moisten your lips for this one. Okay, you ready? Let's try to put them all together. Enjoy your breathing. The last massage, self-massage practice I'd like to share with you is doing some neck traction for the base of the skull area, the area around the brainstem. And for that, we'll come to lying on our backs and we'll use the softball. And if you don't have the softball, I'm going to show you a technique to use with your fingers. So I'll give you a moment or two to transition down to lying on your backs. Plant your feet comfortably on the floor. Center yourself where you want to be. Cup the back of your neck with one hand and then glide the soft ball underneath. Now once you have the ball in place, if you find that your chin is way down here, you might want to take some air out of the ball. What we're going to be doing is some very simple movements. In fact, they're like the movements we did to start out with. We can start with a yes, and then we'll go to a no, and then we'll start drawing little circles on the ceiling with our nose in both directions. So I'm giving you these movements here. And then I want to instruct what you could do with your hands. So if you have the ball, go ahead and start your movement exploration. If you don't have the ball, I'm going to sit up because I want to show you the placement of my hands. So I'm going to be facing away from my screen so I can show you what I'm doing with my fingers. So I'm taking my right hand and I'm cupping it at the back of my neck so I can plant my fingers on the left side of my neck. And I'm going to push in and side bend my head to the left. And I'm going to work my fingers up towards that knob behind the ear and then back down again. And then you can go to the other side and do the same thing. Now when you're on the floor, what you can do is a little nudge to nod your head and let it rebound as you sink your fingers between the little vertebra on the side of your neck. And I'll demonstrate that lying down now. For those of you that are on the ball, you're welcome to rest and pause and breathe. You can join us in the finger technique. So I've got my left hand here, fingers on the right side of the neck, and you can see here's a technical term for you, I'm nudging my head. So I'm gently sinking fingers in and nudging it into a side nod as I work my fingers up and down the side of my neck. So I'm creating some oscillation with this movement. The movement can be really small, so it doesn't look like much. I'm sort of exaggerating the movement so that you can see it. Changing side. Soft jaw. Moving at your pace. And then we'll come back to center. If you're still on the ball and you want to come off, you're welcome to do that. Separate your feet out to the side and hold on to your elbows. And let's just wag the knees to one side and the arms to the other side. Just some gentle rocking. And then we'll let the knees float up. Give them a gentle hug. And then when you're ready, easing onto your side. And we'll come back to the seated position that we started with. And we can bring hands to heart. And let's try one more chant together. And as we chant our sounds, let's imagine we were all joining in one great vibration together. Thank you so much for coming to practice today, and I hope to see you again at our channel, our Your Heart Life Live channel. May you be well.